G'day, ladies and gents. Welcome back. Welcome to the third, installment of Figure Friday. I am the Australian icon, Nick Storm. How the heck is everyone going? I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys stopping by. And we have some guests here, but before we do get and dabble into our sexy beasts here, by the way, look at this. Look at the garments that we have on. I feel like this is a Met Gala right here. You get those hearts quaking, buddy. No, but Sam's Fig. Sam, how you bloody doing, man? Third episode of Figure Friday. It's finally good to have two episodes in the bank and hopefully a third one on the way. Let's hope we don't get cut off the air, okay? Let's hope. Fingers crossed.
Oh man, we're making it work, and it's crazy because this was just an idea. Oh, it's the voice of the bread guy.
It's the voice of the bread guy, Sam Figs. Yeah.
Nah, but it's great that we can keep this going every week, having some great guests, including these two that we have here today. And
exactly, yeah. If you guys missed it, the first episode of Figure Friday featured Steve Ozer from Mattel. Second episode, which was last week, guys, if you missed it, featured Kyle Peterson, Figure Collecting God. And this episode, Penis Balls, shout out. Wake Up Figure Friday episode 3 is live. That's nothing but heavy size, guys. And that brings me to our guest here today. Appreciate you guys stopping by so goddamn much. We have Dan Friedman and Magic Almost, Daddy Magic Almost. How you guys going? Welcome back to the Nick Storm channel, but first time for you both, I guess, here on Figure Friday. How you guys doing?
Thanks for having us, Nick. We're doing good.
I'm okay. You're okay. Let's unpack that. I feel like we're Dr. Phil here. I'm joking. No, guys, but for the people who don't know, we'll go with Dan and then with Magic. Dan, for the people who don't know, what do you contribute with the AEW Jazwares figures on the lines?
So I am a product designer for the AEW line, obviously, and I contribute almost everything to the line that you can do in the production of an action figure.
I like that. I mean, you showed off some of your tattoos, and I believe last time you were here, you mentioned that you do work on a lot of the tattoos, some of the tattoo decals or decos that we do see on these figures. Yep. And you showed your sleeve before we went on. Look, can you design something for me here? There's like too much blank space here, I think, for me.
You just gotta pick them off the wall.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
like then you can walk around and have a tattoo just like 10 other people that you might run into while you shop for wrestling figures, like I did years ago.
Well, hey, maybe I need to get you to tattoo my face on my face, but like slightly to the left. Maybe we can design that off screen. But yeah, that's perfect. And Magic Almost, for the people who don't know you, I think this is what third, fourth, fifth, sixth, probably more times than I've been on the channel myself. Welcome, dude. And yeah, for the people who don't know what you do, what's your role here?
I am a senior designer at Jazwares. I work on AEW. I was the original designer, but the only one in the very beginning. But luckily, I had Dan Friedman here as my secret weapon freelancer at the time, so he's been with us from the very beginning too.
Yeah, that's cool. Dude, talk to me about like how you guys have expanded your team as the years have gone on since 2019, since whenever the first time you guys sat down. Talk to me about expanding your team and how that has benefited you guys in the long run, because I feel like, you know, it was you guys against the world, and I feel like you guys were doing a great job, but I just know the team aspect helps in a lot of ways.
Oh, absolutely, because we started, like you said, like the figures started coming out and like they were successful, so people wanted more of them, and it was literally just me, and then having help from Friedman. I was like a vendor, but yeah, once they started wanting more, we needed way more people. We needed more hands on deck, so to speak. So now the line is huge, so we need a lot more people because there's so much more output. And you can see, like, we put out so many figures that we, like, this year is a little different, but normally it's a lot. And so
yeah, I mean, you guys, and that doesn't like stop you guys from announcing stuff as well. And that brings me to our segue. Oh, professional over here. Pay me the big bucks. I'm telling you guys. Starcast. Even a better segue. No, but guys, how was San Diego Comic-Con? I know. I don't know if you guys made it out there or not. I know Danhausen and Brody King made it out there, and they took over the AEW by Jazwares page for that weekend. But yeah, tell me about San Diego Comic-Con and just getting those figures out, and more importantly, maybe even the Sting figure for the exclusive, if you guys want to talk about that even.
Yeah, that was fun. I attended. I got sick. I got food poisoning, so I only was there for like 2 days.
Do you know what it was from? What was the crutch of the food?
Yeah, I do actually. So there was a Jazwares company party at like a diner or restaurant thing. I normally don't go to these things. So I don't like being at restaurants, but they had a veggie platter and it had like steamed asparagus with like raw vegetables like broccoli and like whatever. I just kept eating the asparagus, and I think it had butter or something. And I got like a pretty bad allergic reaction because I was glued to
Geez. So you got an allergic reaction, and then you're peeing out green because all the asparagus as well. So it's like not a lot's going well. Hey, I can imagine.
Yeah, I was on the toilet
No.
for years today.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that's not the case here, unless that is what your office chair is, and it is a toilet. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But let's discuss All In and All Out, guys. Let's discuss this because All In was in London. I know there was a few people from the Jazwares team that actually made it out to London, and even All Out as well. I know you guys made it out there. Talk to me about this past month for you guys. What has it looked like? What have been the stresses? What have been the relaxing moments, the key points? What has it been for you guys, do you think?
Ain't no relaxing in that month. No sleep. No nothing.
I can't imagine it. There is.
It was basically all hands on deck. We were going crazy, just making sure that we had a lot of the products in place for the events. You know, making sure the final touches on some of the figures, even the presentations were up to par. We were working until, well after midnight hours. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning on certain days, and it was a little crazy, little crazy, but the reward in the end seemed, pretty cool, pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it came across on social media as well, especially with the likes from AEW by Jazwares. Guys, follow that account if you aren't already for all the AEW Jazwares news, if you will. And let's go through, because Starcast as well was actually on All Out weekend, and there was a reveals panel, there was also a design panel for you guys. And I think Orange Cassidy actually shared this tidbit and shared the stage with a Gregory Mitchell and a Daniel Jung, and suggested a Sue pack of sorts. Is this on the horizon? Would you guys think of making a Sue minivan pack? I don't even know what the budget would be like on something like that. But what did you guys think? Maybe a Wreckin' Sue van or something.
Never say never. You never know, man.
You never know. Would that be something that would interest you guys, working on something that's so outlandish and out of the box like a Sue minivan?
Yeah, I remember back when they first did that minivan like street fight, maybe like it was 2020. We were talking about it, like that'd be awesome, doing the middle finger and everything, doing a spot antennas, like doing a whole playset with that. It's huge. It's like one of those things is hard to get in the line. But you never know what happens.
If the demand is there and everything, maybe why not? But we'll see.
It'll cost $6,000.
Yep, pre-order, guys. Use code ICON to get probably $2 off, guys. $6,000 at checkout. No, but that'd be like that's something like something like a Sammy golf cart. You know what I mean? It's something so outlandish that I could imagine would just be fun working on. And Orange Cassidy, while talking about the Supac, also voluntarily broke some news. I believe the next Orange Cassidy figure coming out will be coming with a backpack. And now that doesn't surprise me, hearing from the mold, from the ringside exclusive, Hook exclusive, since there is just already a backpack mold. You can get it in other figures down the line. Is this something that you guys are working towards, really getting the most out of your molds as well, especially with a backpack, I'd assume?
Can't say too much on that one, actually. Who knows if it's the same? Maybe it's different.
Maybe it's different. And hey, that's what Figure Friday needs. I don't want you to talk anymore on it if you cannot.
Just be patient, wait and see. And
patience.
In time you will find out.
Impatience is my middle name. Okay, I'm Australian, so impatience is the way to go for me. But no. Speaking more about SDCC and also the All In / All Out reveals that we got. The first thing that we did see, I believe, or first thing that crossed our screens maybe, was this shop AEW exclusive Jamie Hayter. Now, guys, I want you to talk a little bit about this. I believe this is, I don't know if Jamie Hayter has actually worn this gear. Maybe she was set to wear this gear or something, or is this something that just kind of entered your brain and it was more of a, I don't know, I guess the term people use is fantasy attire. I just love how this looks. Where did this idea come from?
This one was definitely a team idea. I know they were saying we wanted to do something really special for All In. and then the idea came of a UK exclusive. The only you can get it in UK at the time, but I don't think that quite worked out that way because I think it was available everywhere. So we just wanted to really just celebrate them being in UK for that momentous occasion, the first time, biggest wrestling event ever. So we put this together, and it is a fantasy one of Jamie Hayter, being from UK. She was a champion at the time we thought of it, so it worked. It made a little more sense. But now that she's been off TV for a little bit,
yeah, it was unfortunate that she got hurt and wasn't able to be at the event and everything with it, but she was there in plastic form and in spirit. So that's all.
Hey, sometimes that's all anyone needs, okay? If there's a figure of anyone out there, look, there you go. The spirit lives on through the figure vicariously, and I've seen Toy Story too many times to think otherwise, and you can't convince me, okay? No, but also talking more about the Ring of Honor line that's coming exclusive to the Jazwares Vault. We're seeing the likes of Danhausen, Claudio Castagnoli, Brian Danielson, and a Kenny Omega as well. Now, I just want to know, like, how does it come across, and how do you get this idea to outsource an artist like a Mel Coleman Art at Mel Coleman Art, shout out, who does like these great designs and these packagings, and even to get a Ring of Honor line like this started, and internally to have that discussion to make it sort of a Vault exclusive. Where does that start for you guys, and how does it come to this final product?
The packaging arts, that's all Chris Metzger. I think he found Mel Coleman's name on Instagram. I think he just saw her work and liked it, and I decided to reach out to her and try.
Not hard to do. Fight to see her work and like it, because she's done stuff for the likes of Don Callis now on AEW Dynamite, which is cool.
Yeah, she's done amazing work. I follow her as well, and it's an amazing artist. And yeah, those Don Callis and Chris Jericho paintings and everything, those things are beautiful.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, like, deservedly so. It's like Chris Metzger, like, picked her from the Orchids, and now Don Callis, as well. So I feel like Chris Metzger is the Don Callis we all need. Okay, he's the most wholesome Don Callis there is, if that's the case. No, but yeah, talk to me about like having this sort of box, because I there was on the Starcast design panel to sort of have this little shipper that comes with it. And I love that. And the corners, you can see this box is all reminiscent of the O in the classic, like, or the Ring of Honor sort of logo that it sort of reminds me of, and it hits me instantly. And I remember you guys bringing that up at some point as well. And also just making the shippers great, and making them not let's say scrunched up into 4 folds, like a 4-folded side piece of paper or something. Or what was that? What's a chatterbox, right? Yeah, let's hope it doesn't look like a chatterbox by the time it gets to my house. And this, I think, prevents it pretty great. So this is really cool to me. But next, let's move on to actually something that we saw from the design panel, guys. If you didn't check out the Starcast panel, I do recommend it. You can watch it on demand right now on the stream, I think it's Premiere Streaming Network, if you guys want to. But this actually is taken from day 2 from the design panel, talking all about the Jazwares Vault line. Here's Gregory Mitchell.
We introduced another new chase version of figures that you can go out to Walmart, Target, Ringside, GameStop and get them. We heard that there was some concern that, well, there's only 5,000 of the bunny, or there's only 5,000 Brandon Cutler's. How will I ever get one? The Vault's also going to be a home to answer that as well. So for every edition that we put out as a chase out there in the market, a Bunny, a Brandon Cutler, an Alex Reynolds, you're going to also have a chance to get them at the Vault too. So where they're actually going to have as many versions of them out there as your regular stars on the roster too. So we're not going to shortchange any talent, and we're not going to certainly shortchange any of the collectors. So more news on that to come. Check out at AEW by Jazwares on Instagram. We'll always give you the freshest news and always the freshest figures.
So, guys, talk to me about that a little bit, and how the Jazwares Vault line has actually. Oh, what have we done here? Here we go. How the actual Jazwares Vault line, we're live, pal, has come to fruition, and where it's gonna be. And does that make you excited to get more exclusives out there, work on more exclusives, and just to have a direct-to-consumer sort of platform and a hub for that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, the Vault is going to be it's going to be something amazing. Obviously, it's still in its infancy. Obviously, there's going to be some more ironing out things and things to come with that. But it's definitely a brighter avenue to go down as well, to get a lot of more obscure characters out there. Like Dre said, the bunny. Obviously, there was a lot of controversy over her figure over the past few weeks. But yeah, it's going to be amazing, and that's where you're going to be able to get all those Ring of Honor figures and everything. More like I said, more obscure figures and stuff that might be a little bit more difficult to get in store. You might be able to find it on the Jazwares vault. So people shouldn't be too upset over it like they have been, but it's going to be something cool and something awesome. So
I mean, if it's anything like we've seen with other people with Hasbro Pulse, Mattel Creations, if it's anything like that, like in the same sort of vein, I look, and we don't even know. And if you guys want to check out and stay tuned, AEW by Jazwares on Instagram, I'm guessing, right? And that's coming soon here. I'm guessing here. So be on the lookout for that, guys. That's going to be an interesting one. And this was also, I think, brought up in the Starcast panel. But if you guys want to touch on this a little bit later down the line, when the Jazwares vault, it does get kicking off. But will the Brandon Cutler be a chase? I believe it's an unmatched 11, I think. I don't know. I think that's the Elite Wave.
Elite
Wave.
Elite Wave.
Who?
What wave? What are we talking about here?
Okay. I understand. But no, yeah, of course. Like, and Jazwares Vault, I think, is if it's anything like the predecessors or the people like to say competitor brands. I like buying toys. Okay, so I'll buy anything from any brand. So and if it's anything like that, I think we're in for a good, really good treat here.
Just stay tuned to AEW by Jazwares, and the information is going to start dribbling out here and there. Obviously, there's still things that are being worked on, and in due time we'll find out more about that.
Perfecto.
And
cannot wait, dude.
I don't see anyone getting, once everything is rolled out and everything's happening, I don't see any reason why anyone should be upset about the possibility of only having a certain amount of people in that line on the Jazwares vault. So
yeah. Perfect, dude. Yeah, and it's just great to have a hub like that. And I think we need more like that in our figure games and our figure worlds. And that brings me to, I want to talk a little bit about this Bryan Danielson. And we saw more about this on the Starcast panel, I believe. And Magic, you can touch on this. And we saw more of the concepts, how it sort of gets from the ground, how it gets running and started, and sort of gets into the concepting phase, the coloring phase, the DIJ phase. Just talk to me all about this. And are there any like stresses or things going into it that you're sort of looking out for? And just when it comes to likeness or accuracy or anything like that, talk to me about this process.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I mean, first off, like just choosing the accessories and choosing what the figure is going to be. Like you're trying to tell a story. You're trying to like build a world. So, like you could have these different pieces that like you could use to tell the story, like saying, bring the iconic moments back to life from Ring of Honor. So that's why you have the two different heads, like kind of reminiscent of his looks from Ring of Honor. And then you have his entrance robe, which is like he's pretty much known for. So you try to get all that into one thing and try to really think about what's the most effective way to go forward with this and what like will tell this story the best. And then from there, like this is Dan's work here, the DIJ stuff, getting all these hairy men looking really hairy.
yeah,
I mean, I think nose hair was a topic of discussion.
Yes, I was going to say
panel.
apparently it was little light on nose hair over here. So I think going forward, you might have to add a little bit more hair to his nose on future figures.
Maybe removable hair for the people who like to do people trim their nose hairs? I want to get a general consensus, guys, in the chat. If you trim your nose hairs, put a say I trim my nose hairs hootie tootie or something. I don't know. Do you guys trim your nose hairs hootie tootie?
No,
I haven't trimmed anything in years.
I mean, I'm looking at Forrest.
So I'm supposed to be hairy, and the nose hair actually helps get rid of germs and all the crap that goes into your nose too. So
you need
and
nose.
plus,
the merrier.
If you want food for later, it's a good place to store them. Sometimes involuntarily. So
the flavor saver over here,
the flavor saver. There we go. I like that. And I look, something to learn. Oh, look, see, I've got just peach fuzz, so not much I can learn here. But yeah, talk to me about getting these men to the hairy stage.
Yeah, so obviously we try to get as much as we can into the DIJ. Obviously, you try to put as much of the detail into it, all the hair follicles, as you can see in his mustache and beard, there's multiple different colors. So hopefully at the DIJ phase, you get all that well-roundedness, and it helps to, bring more life to the figure instead of just those one flat tampo hits where you only get like one color of the eye. So it brings the life to the figure. It's the head. It's probably one of the most important parts of an action figure because it just makes that character. So the more we can hone in on the actual looks, the better the figure is going to look in the end run. So.
Yeah, and I can't stop shouting out this Starcast panel, guys. This is where I found all this from, and I can't recommend checking that out enough on demand, if you will. But
it's got a lot of great information on there that what we spoke about. There's a lot of people who who'll post and complain that, oh, we don't have this and it's only 2 months. Like, why aren't we getting this person? They wore that gear 4 months ago. It takes time, and as we showed on that panel, we basically explained the breakdown. I mean, you didn't go into a lot of in-depth detail, but we basically gave the outline of how long it's going to basically take. You're looking at on average, at least 12 months for turnaround time for production. So, we were just, giving a little insight onto that because obviously we know that there's a lot of questions concerning that and a lot of people complaining that, they're not getting figures at a quicker pace, but this is the reason why you're not getting it. It's no different than any other company out there that's making action figures and typically wrestling figures as well. Any company will tell you that it's going to be on average at least a minimum a year, and there's going to be things that happen within that time that might push the figure back here and there. We got a lot of licensor, a lot of different characters, a lot of changes. People are coming and going, so we have to restructure lines and this and that. So there's a lot more that go into the production of a wrestling figure. So
yeah, and you bring up like just making turnarounds and stuff where if stuff goes awry or something like that. If stuff goes awry and it is out of your hands, what is the first steps that you guys take to sort of correcting that? Is it just sort of getting another talent into a line sort of thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, it all depends on exactly what the issue was. If it was a talent who's no longer with the company, we got to figure out, all right, who's a proper fit, how long it's going to, like, we might be 4 or 5 months into the process and somebody's no longer with the company. So now we have to pivot to bring somebody else in. So we might look for somebody who we have, may already done. So it's an easier, just, different paint application. So we can get them into the line quicker and not slow down the production process. So, I mean, it all depends on what stage it is and what the issue is because there's so many other little things that might change. It might be, this person changed the color of their outfit, so it might just take an extra few days to, make those changes. But it really all depends on the issue at hand. So.
Yeah, and it's always funny to me to see the people say, already outdated SMH, shaking my head. What the heck, guys? And I'm like, I don't think they know what goes into how long, because like it just being in the figure game, and I know a lot of people can attest to this in the comments, and even you guys, if you're fans of figures yourselves, we're used to this. We're used to seeing a turnaround time of being a year out or even more, or sometimes less if there's like a fast track going on or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes it's just like the way of life. You can't really expect anything out of it. You know what I mean? You can't really like go into it and you just take everything with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Because stuff can change on the fly and it can be out of anyone's hands. So, again, like taking me back to the All Out reveals and some of the stuff we did see, or the All In, I should say, is this. It reminds me of this one in the chat, Sam, Godly Sam. If you're up there in the heavens, show these people what this slide's all about. Okay, yeah. This is just the ringside exclusive Brody King, Darby Allin, Blood and Guts 2-pack. And I just want you guys to talk my goddamn ear off about this. This was one of my favorite reveals that we did see coming in from All Out and All In. So, yeah, talk to me all about going through this. And was this a no-brainer to get into the next Blood and Guts line?
I want to say, actually, Brody King, like, petitioned us to make this one. I think he was in Daniel's ear pretty hard about it. And we made it happen. But, yeah, it's obviously a no-brainer. Like, Brody King's amazing. We have this amazing-looking figure. And then Darby Allin is always like super cool. And they'll give me some blood. It's going to take us to the next level there. And this is the first time we're getting the thumbtack skateboard.
Yep.
It's hard to see. There's thumbtacks all over it. So it's a pretty cool little detail.
Are the thumbtacks, like, do they stick out of the board sort of thing? Like, can you like...
Yeah, it's small. I mean, it's to scale. So it's obviously like, I feel like little nubs. But yeah. You see it.
Cool.
I mean,
yeah,
it's obviously a toy, so we're not going to have, actual points on it so we can really get hurt. But,
well, you lost me, guys. I was gonna use the skateboard alone just for a thumbtack, just one
Maybe
big
if you hit
thumbtack. I've got some
yourself with
posters.
that skateboard over and over and over and over and over again, you might break the skin a little bit. So
Yeah, there you go.
there's a
Look,
little bit of hope for you.
Ric Flair, take notes. I'm not gonna put it under my wrist tape on my finger. Okay, I'm gonna bring my wrestling figure skateboard to blade on the job. No, but yeah, like Dan, talk to me about this one. Like all the deco that goes onto this is kind of incredible to me. Just like seeing it, it pops straight to my eyes, and it tells me, "Look at me, goddamn, look at me, please."
Yeah, well, first of all, obviously you got to talk about the tattoos on Brody. That was Brody King is probably by far the most tattooed person I have ever had to recreate their tattoos for their action figure. Front to back, side to side, he's got them all over, and he's running out of room. But I mean, I tell you something, doing those tattoos, Magic knows it. Took me a little while. But I think they came out, pretty damn awesome. I think I hit the nail on the head with a lot of that stuff, and I try to do my best to get every single detail in those tattoos that I possibly can. But yeah,
I mean, you've done a great job. Like, how long did that take to properly get the tattoos and everything done before you could even put it on the figure? How long did that illustration process take?
I mean, I got to say there was a lot of sleepless nights. A lot of sleepless weeks, maybe even.
Hence the sunglasses. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, I didn't want to get reamed again from the last time I was on for not having. I made sure I had them hours before we're starting this. So.
Of course,
yeah, man. But obviously, you don't see his back, but his back is, he's got tattoos all over his back and everything, and in the back of his arms and the back of his thighs and everything. He's pretty well covered. So yeah, it did take a decent while to recreate all those tattoos, and just getting all the fine details. AEW does a really awesome job by getting us some pretty good reference images. And we can blow those up and get right into you can see up the nose and everything pretty much with their images. So I try to do the best to just recreate just exactly how they look. Like it's a little hard to tell from the picture, but you can still see that from the paint that Brody did wear during that match is a little smeared up and smudged up and
right.
Same thing with Darby as well. Even though he didn't really get as bloody as Brody in that match, obviously you still got where Brody's blood splashed on him and everything, and even across the skateboard as well. So yeah, I mean I
believe this is from the coffin match, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so you match with the San Diego Comic-Con Sting. So there you get your.
I was gonna say you could grab the Sting. There you go. If you needed more of a reason to grab that beautiful Sting, man, then there you go. If the packaging and the figure didn't sell you alone, then there you go, dude.
There it is.
And yeah, like Chris Metzger was on here and he was talking about how this Sting coffin is cardboard, which is kind of insane to me. He's like, it's the sturdiest cardboard I think you'll ever feel. And is there like a soft, like velvety cloth in it? And I'm looking, I see there's chains and stuff too. Like it's like like the amount of finite details. Do you guys have a hand on designing the coffin or the casket here, or is that all like the packaging team as well?
The packaging team did most of the structure for it. I think Walter and Eric took it all over a lot of the coffin. I was responsible for the Sting, just the face paint stuff. Super simple. It's a redeco. But yeah, they put like a satin purple in there, real chain. You used to have a magnet, but I guess Jazwares has an anti-magnet rule, so there's none of that. So
no magnets. No magnets. It's like Edna Mode from Incredibles. No capes.
Yeah. But yeah, the team the park. I was honestly like kind of skeptical how it would come out in cardboard. I was really pushing for it to be molded, but it's like the tooling cost alone wouldn't justify it. It would cost way too much. So they did in cardboard, but I'm really kind of impressed. Like it came out really good. Had to eat my words a lot, so it's good.
Yeah. Would you have rather the molded one compared to this cardboard, or did the cardboard win you over?
I mean, I'd rather the molded one, 100%, because you can do breakaway, you can do a lot more with it. But this is still really
awesome. Maybe
Maybe
in the future, like definitely.
I mean, this still came out pretty damn awesome, and a lot of the details and the artwork that went into it is pretty much spot on to the coffin that was obviously used in the match. So,
yeah,
I think it makes a great visual too.
and All In just passed as well at Wembley, and there was that amazing like casket match or coffin match, and you had that great looking casket, and you could even like, I don't know, in the future if there is a play set, have the dents on it or something, make it breakaway. There's a lot of possibilities, and I don't know, you've got me by the wallet. Okay, that's all I can say there. But moving on, man, I want to talk about this Death Triangle 3-pack that we saw not long ago get announced. And these figures like look incredible themselves, but something that blew us away was the actual packaging that we saw that was actually revealed. So, and I'd love for you guys to just talk to me about this packaging. I can see it like folds out into individual triangles as well, which I think is super, super cool. When it comes to designing and stuff like that, and just like, do you guys have a hand in these packaging things at all, or is it more of a case of like, oh yeah, I see what these guys over here on the packaging team are doing. This is so sick. Like, this is so innovative. How are you guys coming to this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Chris Metzger, but we have an amazing packaging team. We have another guy by the name Steve, who comes up with these amazing ideas and everything. So, not so much us. I mean, we can give ideas and everything to the packaging team, but ultimately,
do you guys like always like do feedback back and forth with other teams when it comes to designing or packaging like that?
A little bit here and there, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's it's pretty awesome with the concepts that they come up with. Like I said, they take the ball and they run with it. So, but I think over the past few years, I think our packaging team has done some amazing and one amazing thing with this packaging as well is it actually folds out. You can see it if you go to the previous slide. You can see that it folds out into 3 sort of separate triangles, but it comes back together to give you that nice one well-rounded packaging, and that's a slip cover right there, as you can see, where it's at the Death Triangle and all that stuff. So, I mean, this when I first saw the guy Steve, who's at the office that I'm at, he had this packaging in hand, and he was just showing me how it works, and I was just blown away by that concept and just everything going on with that. So it was actually pretty awesome to see firsthand how that really works. So I got to give props to that team because they just they just go over the top all the time. And it's just like, how do you top this? And it's like somehow more exclusives come out and then they just top it. And it's just amazing. So
and something with the packaging. Yeah, just if I can touch on the packaging, like from the start of the line, a lot of people were saying it was reminiscent of the classic Superstars, just the kind of colorway that we got. And I think, excuse me, that's just like AEW in general, it's just a great colorway, the black and gold or the gray and gold, concrete and gold, whatever you want to call it. And that sort of blew people away. And I think like at this point, I'm not surprised when we see some great packaging from Jazwares, because I just know you guys are thinking about innovation. You guys are thinking about what can we do here that we haven't really seen before. And like, I don't know if a lot of people have seen something like that Death Triangle pack before or that packaging. So I think that's a really, really cool thing to talk about. Yeah, throw that up, Sam. Just all the designs and everything we can see on the packaging itself is just incredible to me. So
yeah, the wrong guy's on this week, man. You should have got Metzger.
Hey, Metzger, get in here, okay? I say, look, offer's always open to Chrissy Metzi. All right, you're always welcome. You always have a spot in my bed, if you will.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I know,
bed.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Magic.
I was just gonna say one thing I even touched on is like the packaging team. They work on other brands too. They don't just do AEW. They do Halo, Call of Duty. They do a lot of stuff.
Oh wow! Okay.
Like they're working on tons of work, and they're bringing out like high quality pieces, innovative, like you're seeing, just amazing things like constantly. And
so across all lines in Jazwares. Wow.
Yeah, no, like Magic and myself and a few other designers who are really privy to doing the work on the actual figures themselves and all that stuff. We do our best to try to put everything as accurate and as best detail into these figures, and then comes in the packaging team who just does these amazing designs. It's like a nice little bow on top of what we're already doing, so it just makes a beautiful overall package. Mm-hmm. So it's really awesome to see what we got going on and everything. So
yeah, and I love talking about packages. I could talk about packages all day. All right. Well,
I appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Got to get Metzger in here one day, but it's been real.
Uh,
talking about toys, but little plastic men here. Come on, what are we doing?
little plastic men. Yeah, I love.
You're derailing this. Let's get back on the track. Come on.
Okay, sorry. Okay, look, Chris Metzger, if you're out there, I'm gonna send an apology via satellite. Look, now we have Elton John on. Okay, it's Saturday. But I want to talk to a little bit about this Malachi Black Jazwares Vault exclusive as well. Again, the packaging is just kind of off the charts, and I love that we're seeing sort of a new take on the Supreme packaging here, where it is the Velcro at the front and it does open like sort of like a book open, which I kind of like as well. And you see all. Maybe I think this might be the first time with the Supreme that we've seen the accessories not on the side and actually forefront right here, and I think that's great as well. Talk to me about designing this figure and what was the steps to try and make this different to the last Supreme Malachi that we did see.
Well, obviously you got the cool golden horns on there. Like that's just like an amazing piece right there. So I think that's gonna make people freak out when they see it. But like you're talking about, the vault packaging, just next level. So like it's just taking Supreme and like stepping it up one notch higher, something I didn't think was possible. So like with the vault, you're getting so much quality and like so much like uniqueness in these figures. It's really cool. Obviously, you got the different face paints. You get two different looks there. You got two different mask heads, some robes, different legs. You can't really see the alternate legs on these, but they're like different deco and like actually different textured than the previous
cool.
ones. So it's not just like a redeco. Like you get some unique pieces in this Malachi. And then, yeah, the package is amazing. It kind of really pulls it all together. Kind of makes the figure look bad by comparison because like the package is so cool and like gothic looking and evil and metal. It's awesome.
That's how you get me. That's how you tug at my heartstrings. Do anything black metal related or Norwegian metal related, and that's even something like I caught from one of the slides when you guys
You listen to Hammerfall?
Hammerfall. Oh my, yeah, a little bit actually. Yeah, I've listened to Hammerfall. I'm more of like a sort. I like death, mayhem, Judas Priest. Yeah, mayhem.
All that European metal. I'm into all that stuff and everything too.
Yeah, cool. I mean, we'll have to go back and forth. I'm always down for listening to some new music. So
I'm actually going to be taking a little vacation to the Netherlands in about a week and a half.
He's gonna come back with white face paint.
Arion.
Yeah, you're gonna come back looking like Malachi Black, and I'm gonna be you're gonna be the new member of the House of Black right there, and I'm gonna be so happy about it.
Unfortunately, I can't grow the hair, but I'll come out with the face paint and all.
Have you ever wore ghost paint? You look like you could rock the ghost paint pretty well.
Maybe that's where the ghost paint will be.
We'll see.
It'll be like I don't like I'm sure some animals in the animal kingdom have like for their prey they have on the back of their head like some war paint or something. Maybe look, that's something. Maybe it can scare away your opponents in the House of Black. Maybe that's the strategy. Who knows?
Maybe we'll come back in the end of October, do something for Halloween or something. Who knows? We'll see.
No. Yeah, well, Halloween episode, guys. If you're down for that, I've got two words. I got 2 words for you. Maybe. That's one word. That's one word. It's okay. We learned here. We live and we learn. But talking to me about this was another thing that blew a lot of people away. We can talk about the packaging like as much as we want, but I think this is something that like speaks to me on levels that I don't know. Maybe I watched the Barbie movie too many times. Okay, and it's all pink and it's all nice. This is the ringside exclusive 3-pack of the Acclaimed. We got Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn, aka Papa Glutes. Okay, so talk to me about this pack and was it sort of a no-brainer to get a 3-pack like this out? Now we're seeing a lot of 3-packs now as well from the AEW Jazwares line. I'm assuming this is going to be something that we see along because there's just such a good trios division in AEW at the moment. So talk to me about this pack and designing it and everything that went into it.
So obviously the packaging team, you know what they did, you know how awesome they are, and they did, it was paying homage.
We put them over too many times.
But yeah, it's like paying homage to those like 90s boom boxes and everything. I think again the packaging team did an amazing job with the artwork and everything on this. But as far as like the artwork and everything goes on the figures, so obviously I did all the artwork that is onto these figures, and I got to say that these are probably some of like at least Anthony Bowens alone. I think that it catches his likeness amazingly. And a little side note, I used to be a professional wrestler. I was a trained professional wrestler for years. One of my last matches before my knee decided that it's just not going to function anymore was against actually Anthony Bowens and his partner at the time for an organization called Warriors of Wrestling in Staten Island, New York. But it was just pretty awesome to actually do, to work on a figure of somebody who I actually shared the ring with and everything. And, with Max Caster and Billy Gunn, I think this is, it captures, the Acclaimed as best as it could. It's got the special, hands going on in there, and all the
special peace signs hands, yeah,
peace sign hands, yep. And it's got obviously Bowens and Caster. He's got the the tongue sticking out to do their little scissor.
Make peace, not war, or whatever
exactly.
It is. Yeah.
So and it's pretty awesome to start working on Billy Gunn figures, because he's just been a staple in professional wrestling for I remember him when I was growing up. Who were these two cowboys, and one of them was Billy,
right,
the smoking guns and everything. So it's pretty awesome, at his age and everything, how strong he's going in professional wrestling. So it was pretty cool to work on something like this. So.
I think you've nailed the torso of Billy Gunn as well.
Yeah,
just from a sculpting standpoint, he's jacked.
He's probably one of the on TV one of the smallest of big men. Like I'm just about 6'4", and
what do you mean Gunn, just about?
Just about. So just
yeah, he's 6'2". I seen him. He's only 6'2".
So,
okay.
But this guy, listen, I tell you, I have never this guy is wide, and he's bigger than me and everything. He just looks so deceiving on TV, but this guy is jacked up, for 50, 50 plus years old and everything. So
it's because he doesn't work like it, he doesn't work like his size. He's like super speedy still. He does the head scissors, you know what I mean? So
got to give a shout out to Walter though. Worked on the sculpts on these figures, put them all together. Walter's like doing a phenomenal job already. He's been on the line for like a year now. We're finally starting to see his stuff coming out. So big shout out to Walter.
Yeah, these are just great scans in general, guys. And I cannot wait to get this in hand, and can't wait to review it on the channel, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, blah, blah, blah. I hate my life. But no, speaking about the last thing, or one of the last things that we did see reviewed, and we actually saw a little bit of this, the inklings, if you will, at San Diego Comic-Con this year. And it is the Amazon exclusive 4 Champions pack, and featuring MJF, Orange Cassidy, Wardlow, and Thunder Rosa. And this pack sold out super fast, which is surprising to me. Exclusive to Amazon, sold out very, very fast. Not surprising. I mean, the first time we're getting the formerly known All Atlantic title, but international title in the line, and also as the Burberry, the Triple B title, and the new updated women's title, I think. Just talk to me about this pack and designing it and getting this out into hands as well.
This is another one of Walter's babies. Walter came up with this concept on his own. I was out, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. 4-pack, and all these guys, cool color variant of gold. It's pretty sweet. And then, like you're saying, it's the first time you're getting the All Atlantic, first time you're getting the updated women's, and then first time, maybe the only time you're getting the Triple B. You never know.
The international title.
Oh yeah, sorry, international.
Sorry, I blame myself too. I do that too much. I'm like all international title at this point.
Very first international champion, Orange Cassidy, right there.
Yep. No longer the only. Outdated now, so I don't know if anyone's going to want it anymore. It's outdated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. Who knew it was going to be Magic to be the one who did it this time around, huh?
Why didn't they put Moxley in there? Oh.
Yeah, why isn't Moxley here? Why isn't Soraya?
Yeah. Come on, guys. Why isn't We Will Rock You by Queen licensed on this 4-pack?
That's true.
That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
No, but
it's a little out of the price range.
Yeah.
I would keep a lookout because, I don't think all the run's out there yet. I think they're going to put it up again.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So if you did miss out, guys,
there might be a little dribbling out here and there.
Secret stash.
Yeah, there's the secret stash. Maybe we can go to Amazon headquarters and see the secret stash. Who knows? A secret four champions pack stash. But again, it is this whole pack is very gold centric. We have the gold boots. Or for Orange Cassidy, we have the gold design with the thumbs up for Orange Cassidy. Thunder Rosa with the gold instead of the yellow. And MJF as well with the scarf, the wrist tape, everything like that is gold. Where did that idea come from? Is that also a Walter sort of thing?
Walter, yeah, that's his idea. I was telling him to make
Damn.
Orange Cassidy all gold. Just do everything gold on him. I thought that'd be funny.
I mean, like, and it's funny like that because in AEW Fight Forever, you can grab like the gold sort of characters and stuff like that. So that's instantly what it reminded me of with this pack, which I thought was pretty cool.
But yeah, it's just a fun, cool variant celebrating all the champions, like thematically, so having everything gold. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is that the scarf for MJF doesn't really read in person or read in photos like it does in person because that thing is shiny, awesome looking gold. Right here, it kind of looks like tan still, but in person, it's amazing.
I did see Daniel Jung with this in hand and actually showing it to the host of the Starcast panel, not the host, but I believe whoever was on the scene, and just how shiny and shimmering it was as well, just off camera was kind of blind. I was blinded by the lights, if you will. But no, yeah, this is great, and I'd say, yeah, go for it.
Another run the night. Are you seeing the Bruce Springsteen version or the Manfred Mann version? Blinded by the light. What are you doing there?
Whatever your heart wants, right there, Dan. Are you kidding? Whatever your heart wants. You named some pretty great songs there. I'm gonna go.
I'm not doing any karaoke anymore, so let's get back on track.
That's the reason why I have you guys here. We're doing an hour of karaoke.
Oh, that's the whole reason. Oh, okay.
Speaking of which, actually, I would actually like talk to you guys and see what you guys are actually listening to music wise at the moment. We'll get back to figures, but since music came up and I'm such a music nut and a music geek, and I'd like to hear what everyone's listening to at the moment. What's something that's on your radar right now on your playlists?
So funny thing, not talking about playlists, but last night at Madison Square Garden in New York City, I went to go see the Eagles for their Yeah, listen, I'm a little older than other people, so it's like
Magic. I can't believe you laughed at that. The Eagles.
About to get thrown.
We're gonna start. Look, we got Sam here. We're gonna just start doing some 4-part harmonies. All right, it's gonna be like even a better experience than the Eagles. Okay, Dan.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just kidding. Eagles are cool, I guess.
Getting contact high yesterday from all the elder people in the crowd, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh man, I just want to see a crowd of like 60, 70-year-olds, just that. Now maybe an Eagles concert is something I have to seek out.
It was like a sea of Q-tips. Crazy.
Yeah, Magic. Same goes for you, man. Like, what? That's just a great. I mean, I can't top that. Magic, what are you listening to at the moment, man?
I hate to say, but I've been listening to like ridiculous like 90s techno and like German techno lately. Just that's all I've been listening to. Just ridiculous like hard stuff.
Right. Oh, really? Like hard style stuff, right?
I don't know why. It just caught me recently. And of course, I always listen to Animal Collective and Panda Bear. Those are always my rotations. Listen to the Postal Service a lot lately because I'm gonna go see them next month.
Oh, dude! Hi.
And I know someone who hasn't listened to them.
I have. Okay, I love that album now. Hey,
do you?
I've listened to it. One of them goes, I think.
Yeah, you're about right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's not derail this thing any longer with my goddamn rambling tangents. Okay, this is something that's a signature to Nick Storm, and I like it or not, it happens. Okay, but I this actually came across. I want to pull up an Instagram comment here that I actually did see, and I can't remember. It's remissing me who actually stated it, but I believe it was something along the lines of, "Could we get maybe a Chris Jericho 2018 All-In attire in a figure?" And then that sort of brought me to the whole thesis of, is it even a possibility now with Ring of Honor being bought by Tony Khan that and with these Ring of Honor figures that we could maybe see an All-In attire sort of, I don't know, maybe wave or just attires in general? Is that something that you'd want to work on, for example?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Well, I don't know, maybe.
That's a great idea too. I'd love to see something like that maybe one day down the road. Yeah.
Thanks. Maybe I'll lend you the patent for $10,000.
Wasn't Jericho Penta in 2018 All In?
Yep. There you go. Oh man, I'm so excited to be a figure collector. That means nothing, but that means nothing, guys. Just letting you know that means nothing. Stay tuned to AEW Jazwares. Who knows?
That's a cool look, though. The gold. Here's the gold, right? They're wearing the gold.
Yeah.
Face mask
yeah,
off.
I mean, if you got the unrivaled 6 Penta, you're already halfway there. It's Papa Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh
do it.
yeah, I've done that through and through, baby. That's my bread and butter right there. That's my go-to.
You put that little bit of the bubbly head on there, maybe put a little bit of that white and black face paint that Penta wears, and you got yourself a Jericho, all in. You're good.
Whiteout marker.
There you go. I'm gonna have to freelance Dan. I'm gonna have to fly you out here to do that because I don't trust myself with that. Okay, I'm gonna probably mess it up. Make it look like Malachi Black at some point. I don't know, but who knows? But I mean, that's something I'd be down to see. Like those all-in attires are something of beauty as well. Especially like there's just so many greats on that card. I can't even get through them all. But again, like a Kenny Omega or a Chris Jericho, who knows? So I don't know. That'd be something I really want to see that. So that'd be really cool. But another question here: running torso changes for certain talents. Is this something that is on? Has this ever come up in conversation? I'll say internally with you guys. Has there ever been like thoughts of doing running torso changes for certain talents? Example, that Danhausen torso that's coming out. I think it looks sort of perfect for like maybe an Adam Cole or something like that. What do you guys think? Is there any talks internally about something like that?
I mean, we're always looking to freshen things up here and there, but obviously as a team, we all got to come together and see what's going on. So it may happen here and there, or may not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean,
fair enough.
I'm just trying to picture that Danhausen torso in my head versus Adam Cole, and
without the tattoos.
Yeah,
without the tattoos. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean, like that, even for an example. But yeah. Go on, Magic.
Oh no, I was gonna say something like we don't assign the checks here, so like we can think about this and pitch all the things we want in the world, but at the end of the day, if it's gonna cost a certain amount, maybe we won't do it. But if it's like something we could live with, or we know we can change this easily, then absolutely we do for it. Like looking to improve everything all the time.
Yeah, I remember talking with Steve Ozer at one point, and like there's always budgets for certain places to be put in certain places for things, and that just kind of makes sense. That's how you keep a business running. That's how you don't get into financial debt, like your boy Nick Storm for buying all these goddamn toys and dolls. Okay, that you keep making. All right, I'm gonna blame you guys, but I'm gonna blame myself more.
Yeah, just like we were talking before, it's a big, long process. So we might be far along in our process of production that it just can't happen. So obviously down the road, we might, visit that option in, a future wave or a future figure. But, it all depends on where we are at the time, where we might catch something or something might change. So,
I mean, yeah, it makes
not
sense.
easy.
I could imagine, like, especially like touching on what we talked on before, like these things take a year sometimes with turnaround, like maybe even more, maybe less. Who knows? It's different every time, I'd assume, with different such situations or circumstances. So when stuff is put in place that early, and I don't know, just the figure game it's a constant like revolving door. I'm sure you guys know it's a constant like moving machine, right? And so a year to some people, to me especially because I'm impatient, it can seem like a long time, especially in the figure game. So makes sense there. And before we do anything else, before we get out of here, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by so much, and I want to get into some comments here and getting some people. We got Tyson says, "Hey yo, what's up, Tyson? Welcome." Wrestling Figure News Network says, "What's up? Welcome." And this would be amazing. Jacob, the wrestling fan, says, "In memory of AEW Dark, can we get a line exclusive Jazwares Vault? Just a Michael Nakazawa figure. I need a baby oil accessory. How about that?"
Nah, it's going to be a very expensive figure if we're just making one.
That's fine. It's the only time I've ever seen Michael Nakazawa ask for in a figure form. I don't think I've seen anyone ask for him.
And that's not your fault. I feel like it's just
we're not knocking on the guy or anything, but it's just
you're not knocking on the guy or anything. Get it, Nakazawa? Okay, I'll see myself out with some baby oil. But I appreciate everyone stopping by. Piggy as well. And another question here, this sort of went for the 4 Champions pack maybe, but Jacob, the wrestling fan, says, "I missed out on the Amazon 2-pack of Hook and Danhausen. Will they be back in stock, or was it a one and done sort of deal?"
I'm not sure about those ones, but honestly, if you keep that Amazon notification on, you might be surprised. It might pop up again. I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, I turn on my post notifications for everything at this point. I can't not,
Mm.
If I do, that I might as well be in the grave. Okay, might as well be in the grave. And let's see. Perfect. Rob's Pippin Road, welcome. Magic and Dan, is there a particular series or certain releases where you feel you've really hit a new peak in the final product versus the initial planning stage versus what you've produced in the past few years?
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things were always evolving and everything. So, I mean, if you look at where we are now versus where we are in, like, let's just say wave 1 and 2, obviously there was a lot of hiccups in the beginning with skin colors and DIJ and all that stuff, but it's definitely evolving wave after wave after wave. You know, we're learning as well as we go on, but I think Jazwares, all of us together as a team just have really, stepped up the game a lot and just really just brought a lot of, amazing updates and different ways to produce the figures. I think we did a pretty decent job.
I'll give a hard answer. I'll say Supreme 3 Lucha Bros and then Supreme 4 CM Punk. I feel like it's some of the best figures we've made. Like the likenesses on Punk and stuff, everything went into that. Looked really awesome.
Yeah, I've only been on the line for just a little bit. Even though I was just only doing some artwork, so I've only been doing this whole entire process for like 5 months. So I'm still not, quite seasoned in terms of where we were on certain things versus where we are now. I can just say it for from what I've seen, also just as a designer of the deco art and everything from the past. So
he's learning the dirty secrets now. He's getting depressed. Lost more hair.
I mean, I'm going to follow suit soon. I mean, you see all this hair? It's not lasting.
But Dan's totally right, though. Like, we're always learning, always trying to improve. And I feel like our latest releases are some of the best releases. The Wave 7s, Unmatched, and then the most recent, like, Unrivaled, they look amazing. And, like, honestly, it's like Dan's artwork has been so, like, instrumental in making all those realism and, like, all those, like, details pop and making sure that tires are authentic. He catches a lot of things I never caught, which I thought was really cool. Like logo.
You need someone like that, man. Hell yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and listen, it's like I said, where it's just one awesome, great team. There might be things that I see that he did that I'll point out there. He sees things that I might not have seen, or vice versa versus our other designer Walter and everything. So it's a well-oiled machine, and I think we're all putting our best feet forward right now too. So. And there's a plenty more stuff coming down the road that's pretty amazing too. So pretty happy.
I really like to annoy Dan when he's working on something that's like due tomorrow. I'm like, oh, you missed all this stuff, dude. Like,
add this. hey, this has to be in yesterday. Can you add all these different saturations and hues and all this stuff? It's like, yeah, sure. That's only going to take me, another 12 hours more than what I already have on my plate. Sure.
Oh, wait, So that brings me to hues and saturations. Is that something that gets taken into account as well when there's like maybe a rough sample or a first sample? Or is that something you really look at as well?
Well, yeah, and again, in terms of the DIJ, if people got specific looks, maybe you're doing a bruise or you got bags under your eyes, or even with I'll just make an example, but like Darby with his full body paints and this and that, so. There are some things that we try to, push the lines with instead of just doing a straight on, just flat tempo hit. You just try to do some hues and saturations to give it more of that realistic, paint smear or something going on, just so it's just not like, a one dimensional, hey, this is where the blood is going. That's where the paint's in. That's it. So
I've got a question with that. Are you painting yourself up and testing it in person? That's how I'd get the best results, I feel.
No, I got out in the shed in the back. I got all these different colors and everything.
I could have just imagined the floor of that shed just being like just paint red, black, white paint everywhere.
The lotion on the skin, but I'm rubbing the paint on the skin.
Yeah, goodbye horses playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, Magic?
No, he puts his own wrestling gear back on, gets all oiled up, and then starts putting the paint. To see like, oh, they're gonna be sweaty and wet, so I need to see how that's gonna affect the paint when I do it.
Yep.
He takes photo reference. He sends me a lot of these photos at night. Like, what do you think of this? I'm like, I don't know, man. You shouldn't be sending these to me.
In Speedos and knee pads. Yeah, I mean,
That's it.
I mean,
just
hey,
Speedos and knee pads. That's it. Just
I-
Speedos and knee pads.
I think I need to be added onto the CC or something. I think I needed the CC for that. I want to, yeah, but
Plenty of
exactly. Exactly. And it all comes back around. Circle of life. Copyright strike. But no, bringing it back to sort of the peaks and crevices maybe of this journey you guys have been on. How do you guys think you have improved the most when it comes to who knows, maybe getting the final product out or even something from a design standpoint? Where do you guys think personally for you guys have improved the most?
I know me. I'm just better at communicating ideas and better at communicating revisions with things that need to be done. Because most of my job is just ensuring the vision of the product comes to life. Like we can plan and do all this stuff, but it's really just seeing it at every step, ensuring that everything's like as it should be. That's how we're planning it, and like what it looks like in my mind, and what we should look like, what it looks like in reality. So I think that's what I've gotten better at, is visually communicating, making sure things are looking the way they're supposed to.
Hell yeah. What about you, Dan?
Well, since I'm still new in the whole entire production process and everything, so it's just for me, it's just a learning experience. I'm learning. I'm growing with the knowledge of, from visualization. From the concept to the final, production samples and everything. So I'm just learning that process. So for me, like I said, it's a learning process. So I'm just trying to hone in on everything that I absolutely can, so I can become a more well-rounded designer and be a little bit more confident in the work that I'm giving as well. So
I mean, yeah, perfect. Like it's all, I mean, there's always room for improvements. And I think if you have that mindset, you go into anything with that mindset, just an open mind, I think you're really powerful and you can achieve a lot, And I think a lot of it is mind over matter a lot of the time too. So that's great to hear, man. And we got some people in here for the closing ceremonies. We've got Mo the Fig God. Guys, get your final questions in for these people. We got MBG 1211 even saying, "Where can I get a pair of epic shades like y'all have?" He's jealous. Maybe Pro Wrestling Tees / Nick Storm Review has to stock, I don't know, maybe some Nick Storm branded sunglasses. No one will buy them apart from me. So maybe that's something.
Maybe Magic. I mean, he's got a nice little collection of these weird, funky ass glasses. I mean, like I said, these are prescription just because my eyes suck. But unfortunately,
I mean, my eyes suck, and these aren't prescription. So, like, what am I doing? Wait, Magic, how many can you throw on right now?
Can I throw on right now?
Yeah.
Two of these are expensive, so I'm not gonna mess with those.
Okay, yeah, I really don't want you to mess with the expensive ones. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, this looks great.
So he's got that little extra fuzz down here. You can just stick it.
Yeah, he looks like what is the thing from Addams Family, the cousin It, but like the coolest cousin It I've ever seen. Just shades upon shades. But yeah, guys, get your questions in. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you guys for stopping by. Like, appreciate Magic and Dan for taking the time out. I can't see a thing with these on, for taking the time out and just staying here for an hour and just letting me chat their ear off and then chatting my ear off back, and Sam's Figs as well for running the goddamn ship and keeping everything together, and everyone joining in the chat as well for this 1 hour of or whatever you're doing and spending your day and however you're spending your time. If you did it here, I appreciate you goddamn dearly. But yeah, like, even appreciate you guys, like, with the crazy month I imagine you guys have had, just when it comes to making figures, even revealing figures, packing stuff up for these displays and bringing them out and bringing them to the people in person. And then, like, I just appreciate you guys stopping by like a ton. And yeah, just out of your exhaustion to be here. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm missing sleep for this. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, you've had the shades on. Who knows? You maybe had like a minute or two power nap when Magic was talking about, I don't know, music or calling me out for not listening.
I don't know. I think I fell asleep more when you were talking. So.
Oh wow! Don't be rude to the icon. He's an icon. He's in Australia. He woke up at 7 a.m. for this. He should be sleeping. He's a young man.
There's no need to be down. I said, young man, get yourself up. Sorry. What were you saying?
What time is it over there, Nick?
Right now, it is party time.
Nice. Okay.
No, it's 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. What's the time for you guys? Screw it, we're going overtime. This is Nick Storm After Dark. This is... No, I'm joking. What's the time for you guys?
Just after 8 p.m. my time.
5 p.m. my time.
Jeez, what do you guys have plans to do after this? Dan, you're gonna probably sleep.
No, I actually plan on leaving and going to pick up my kids for the weekend. So
This guy gets a family.
Okay, cool.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, this guy has priorities and
I got
responsibilities.
it. Again, the older statesman. I
like to say journeyman.
Yes, journeyman wrestler. I'm the journeyman toy designer.
There you go. I mean, you could be a journeyman wrestler as well. Throw on those speedos, get that paint going again in the shed.
All right, after my kids go to sleep, who knows?
Oh,
yeah. Invite me over, maybe. I don't know. That'd be great. That'd be a great little time. We could splash paint. But no, Magic. What about you, man? It's only 5 p.m. there. What do you got planned after this today?
I hate to say, I'm going right back to work. I'm gonna start finishing up stuff.
You hate to say?
Yeah, I'm working all night still.
Can I work for you?
If you want, yeah.
I wouldn't make any good figures. I mean, well, I could try. I have a PDF. I think everyone has PDF. That doesn't do a lot, does it? Doesn't go a long way. I could use a PDF. It won't work, but hey, who knows?
We're trying to go forward, not back. So
yeah, I mean, I've got dial-up, so I can't really help you there.
Boy, they still make that.
No, surprisingly, I had to get it out of a bargain hunters sort of deal,
You got a CD-ROM with 1,000 free hours from AOL, free internet.
See, I didn't even know what that means.
Really? Oh, you're a youngster.
I'm a youngster, and I doubt Sam knows what it means as well. He's even younger than me.
You'd go to Kmart or something, and they'd give you like these free AOL discs, and it have like 1,000 hours, like 100 hours of free internet, and you like put it in your computer.
You know how you get gift cards nowadays for certain, prices and everything?
Right.
It's just like that, just with AOL discs and everything that you can.
Or like in cereal boxes or something too.
Yeah. Dude, I missed the... See, that's what I'd go out and get the cereals for sometimes. I wouldn't even I remember the Dark Knight came out and there was some cool Batman Joker toys, and I just got the cereal for that. We're getting off topic. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here today. I appreciate you guys. I mean, hey, this is what Figure Friday should just be about. Shooting the shish and hanging out, having a great time. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, having a silly, goofy time here on Figure Friday.
Got it. I
Thanks
appreciate
for having us, Nick. It was a pleasure. The icon.
No worries. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You're going to be all giddy and in my feelings. Okay. But if you guys want to follow us on the socials of medias, you can go on at Sam's Figs and at Nick Storm Review, wherever you can find your socials and your medias of the socials. And yeah, I appreciate everyone stopping by in the chat. If I read your name, if I didn't read your name, sorry, but not sorry. Heel Nick Storm. Oh, boom. Sorry, mate. Hey, Cheap Heat. Oh, you guys, the city that you're in, it stinks. Dude, I'm pretty good. What can I say? They say being a heel is it comes easy to me. What can I say? But no, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and the Magic again, Dan and Sam as well. And if you guys want to, completely up to you. Be there or be Rhombus. I don't care. Either way, go to the Nick Storm Review channel if you wish, and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications, and we're here every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with a Figure Friday. So I think next week we might pre-record an episode with a very, very special guest. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'm very, very excited. But again, nonetheless, with that being said, and furthermore, in conclusion, lastly, you guys, can you think of any?
No.
I don't know what you're going for, man.
This is all you, buddy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you struggle here. You're the host. I thought you'd have a catchphrase by now.
My name's Nick Storm, and I don't have a catchphrase. Did you enjoy this stream? Well, good, because after this stream ends, make sure to go onto my channel and binge watch every single one of my videos, because they're guaranteed a good chuckle or two. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye!
Storm, the Australian icon.